I stand before you today to urge the adoption of the Hagerty-Peters Amendment for the bipartisan BIOSECURE Act. The BIOSECURE Act is rooted in basic common sense. It would stop U.S. taxpayer money from going to Chinese biotechnology companies that are aligned with the People's Liberation Army, companies like BGI. The threat we face is real and it's growing. The Communist China has openly identified biotechnology as a key domain for future warfare. To cite just one chilling example, in 2017, National Defense University of the People's Liberation Army wrote about the possibility of, and I quote, specific, ethnic, genetic attacks that can, quote, be a precise, targeted attack, get this, that destroys a race or a specific group of people or a specific person. This is bone-chilling, this is real, and this is the objective of the CCP and the PLA through this DNA data collection. The Chinese military entity added that, quote, its potentially huge war effectiveness can bring extreme panic to human beings. Of course it would. That's not science fiction. That's a PLA strategy document. And companies like BGI, one of the so-called national champions of Chinese biotech, are in position to facilitate what was once heretofore unthinkable, a genetically targeted bioweapon. Evidence suggests that BGI is working with China's military to conduct joint research. It's using the Chinese military supercomputers to process biodata. And it's collaborating with Chinese military hospitals to genetically enhance the performance of Chinese soldiers. Can you believe this? Under China's national intelligence laws, all Chinese companies, regardless of where they operate in the world, must turn over any data that they've collected if the Chinese government wants it. And given the stated interest of the PLA in bioweapons, you can be sure that they'll be interested in the genetic data of Americans. Make no mistake, BGI and companies like it are not just commercial actors. They're tools of the CCP, collecting, storing, and analyzing DNA from millions of people worldwide, including the genetic data of Americans that they collect, very often without informed consent. That's why the Department of War has already singled out BGI on its list of communist companies that operate in the United States and that collaborate with the People's Liberation Army. The solution is simple. The BIOSECURE Act stops U.S. taxpayer money from flowing to biotechnology companies of concern. It ensures the federal government cannot buy from, contract with, nor subsidize CCP-controlled biotech firms that put at risk the DNA of American citizens and the security of the United States. It gives industry an adjustment period when new entities are designated as biotechnology companies of concern, and it provides limited waiver authority where absolutely necessary on a case-by-case basis. Madam President, just last month, Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin were overheard talking about biotechnology, organ transplants, and even the possibility of extending life to 150 years. They know it's at stake. We must acknowledge it too. This amendment is about protecting Americans' most personal information, their DNA. I urge my colleagues to support it.